Yes, yo. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Who is in the house today? Mir Depp, what's up? Gorilla Strong, what's up? Beneficial Massive, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the more chill version of a live feed this evening. Call this one Friday Vibes with Q. Machiavelli, what's the deal? How's everybody doing, man? Yeesh, what's going on? How's everybody rolling? Big Gorilla. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gorilla Strong in the motherfucking building. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Friday Vibes. We're just gonna have, obviously, for those who've been here a million times, we just have like a more of a open forum discussion. But let's start with the obvious. Let's start with today was release day. Yesterday and today was release day. And the reason why I say yesterday and today is because I personally was, thank you, Gorilla. Thank you, Gorilla. That means a great deal to me. And I'm definitely going to get into that while we're talking today. So the first thing I want to talk about is I am featured on, thank you, Machiavelli. Thank you very much. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. I was featured on Sonny Dread's album that came out yesterday. Goodfoot, what's the deal? Bananas, what's the deal? What's the deal? Um, I'm featured on Sonny Sandoval's new solo album. So for those that don't know who Sonny Sandoval is, he is the lead singer of the group POD, and he released his solo album. Thank you, Bananas. I appreciate that. What's up, Alyssa? He released a solo album yesterday, and I produced 2 tracks on that album, and I'm also trading bars with Mr. Sandoval. Yes, Machiavelli. I'm going to talk about the Nas and Primo album as well. Although I have nothing to do with it, but I will talk about it. So Sonny Dread's album is out, streaming everywhere. It's a nice mixture of what I would call reggae and hip hop. Well, obviously, with me being involved, there's some cool hip hop. Actually, the track that I produced for Sonny's, so there's 2 tracks on there that I produced. Talk to God and Spitfire. And the Spitfire one was more like, when I produced it, it was my way of doing like when I produced that track for him, it's more like my interpretation of like that Brooklyn dance hall reggae KRS type of influence. So I produced that track Spitfire for him, and then I also produced Talk to God, which is more of a sample free hip hop track that I did for him as well. And so if you get a chance to check those tracks out, they're streaming everywhere. Obviously, Sonny Dread, SONNYDREAD, Sonny Dread, and um, what's up, Stutters? No, the camera's on me perfectly. All right. And so that's the deal. So if you get a chance to check that out. Actually, I'm on another album that I totally forgot to talk about. My homie Jake Palumbo, who produced my Royal Blood album, I'm on his album now on a track called Tally Ward. So it's Jake Palumbo, Psycho Les from the Beatnuts, and me, all of us dropping verses on Jake Palumbo's production. Aki Peace, what's the deal? Um, so if you get a chance, check that out as well. Jake is a dope producer, dope MC, really good dude, and I was really, really happy to be a part of his album. So that's actually three releases. Yeah, yeah. It's on Jake Palumbo. It's actually, I think it's the last song on the album. It's called Tally Ward. That's the name of the song. I guess it's a place from where he's from down south. So when you get a chance, so those are the three releases: the Jake Palumbo album. The name of the song is Tally Ward. Um, nah, this is just Liquid Death. It's just iced tea. There's no alcohol. There's no alcohol. It's just straight up tea. And I dig them. I like it. It's not too much sugar, so I'm not. I try to stay away from as much sugar as possible. I do my best. You know the deal. And aside from that, what up, Jay Bugsy? Bananas in the house. Eric. All right. So we got that out the way. Like I mentioned those two. Now, before I get to Sun Tea, yep. I know it does almost look like the twisted ones. Liquid Death, man, they've been on some shit. They just released some energy drinks as well, man. I need to get at these dudes, but I don't think they talk to artists. I haven't seen anything that would suggest that. But so the Nas and DJ Premier album. I think that Nas definitely. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you. I think that Nas definitely encompassed. It was almost like a hip hop love letter. If you're really paying attention, he talks about graffiti artists. He talks about female MCs. He talks about. Uh, there's a lot of key elements in his punchlines that definitely you could tell that Nas is in this place of becoming an ambassador. I mean, not even becoming. I hear all y'all, but I just think that he's an ambassador for hip hop at this point. I mean, everything when you pay attention, if you're really paying attention to Nas's movement in the past 5 years, he dropped 6 albums with Hit Boy. He opened up Mass Appeal. He dropped hip hop documentaries like Video Music Box, Biz Markie, and a few others. He with Mass Appeal. He dropped Raekwon, Ghostface, Slick Rick, Big L, De La Soul, Mobb Deep, and the Nas and Primo album. What an accomplishment! And I think that where I'm at, and you're probably going to be like, whatever, but I don't have much of an opinion on the album itself. I just think that I tend in this case to look at the big picture as to what Nas is doing, because I was just talking to Skef Enselm about this. Everybody's gonna have in their batch of the Mass Appeal releases what their favorites are. I still think that De La Soul and Mobb Deep have the best albums in the Mass Appeal catalog this year, in my opinion. That doesn't mean that I think that any less of anyone else's. I think everyone gave quality work, but to me, the two best albums, the number one and number two for me, is and exactly Gorilla. I think that for me, I have to listen to it more. I only listened to it once. I listened to it last night, but I was deep on the weed. So at that point, everything sounds fucking like holy shit, you know? And so, and so today when I listened to it at the gym, it was with fresh ears and I wasn't on any weed. And you start to like you start to really pay attention to the more of the detail instead of the whole what you're being hit with musically. So I haven't listened to it enough to give y'all a real good review, but I have listened to De La's enough and Mobb Deep's, Slick Rick's, Big L's, Ghosts and Rays, and I think, in my strong opinion, that although everybody gave a good contribution, I just think that De La Soul and Mobb Deep gave that's the best. Those are the two best. Those are number one and number two, and then you could kind of put it in order from there, however you want. But that's how I'm looking at it. So that's my opinion. Y'all know me, man. I ain't gonna do drama. I ain't gonna shit on any. That's what I was saying to Skef. It was like it doesn't even matter what I think about the Nas and Primo album in particular, because their legacy is so intact that they didn't even have to do the album. They didn't, And when I look at it that way, it's like whatever they did, I'm just cool with, you know. It doesn't matter at that point because their legacy is just holy shit. Now I'm not gonna overlook the Coyote album, and I think that people should not forget the Clips album, the Redman album, and LL Cool J's album. That's what I think. What up, Jordan? What's the deal? I think a lot of people have put out solid hip hop this year. My favorites, my personal favorites, the Clips, De La, and Mobb Deep are my top three. Now the list is growing, but those are my top three right now. Vinny Paz put out a banger of an album, but when it comes to like Vinny Paz or Ill Bill or Gore or anybody in my circle, I'd be surprised if it was whack. It's almost like I expect them to always have like quality shit. It's like it's not something that I ever like is are they gonna fuck up? Nah. They're so I feel like the guys in my circle have a different level of discipline. It's now no disrespect to anyone else. Everybody else has their own road and their own path. But when I look at the guys that I came up with, we just have a different mentality. Thank you, Bananas. Thank you. Um, we just have a different approach and a different mentality to the whole thing. It's not an ego thing. It's just something that I've noticed. I've never heard a whack Ill Bill verse. I never heard a whack Vinny Paz verse. I never heard a whack Gore-Tex verse. I never heard a whack Esoteric verse. And so that's my point. Or song. Never mind verse, song, track. So that's my feeling. But overall, there was a lot of dope shit. Diabolic is cool. You know what? Slain is dope. Diabolic is dope. Actually, it's crazy because I know him, but we never got a chance to really to connect. You know what I mean? Like I never really got to build with him. I was always cordial and cool because I respect his ability and his skill level. I just never really got to build with him on anything. It's fascinating. Whoever brought that up, I forgot. Apathy Self. Um, I did hand Diabolic a beat tape years ago, but nothing came of it, unfortunately. Not maybe my beats aren't for everybody, but that would have been cool. Now, since we're reviewing, thank you, Bananas. That'll be dope. Thank you, Yeesh. Thank you. So, getting into that. Now, I just want to review my little 4 tracks of a year that I had, but it was a lot of fun. So, I didn't release an album this year, which I guess is kind of cool. I didn't overthink it, but I got to release some singles, and what made these singles special was I got to work with somebody I've been wanting to work with for a long time. His name is Zach Baird, and to give you the short story, I met Zach while hanging out with Korn all of those years. Zach used to play keys for Korn, and he was one of those guys that I took notice because of his musical ability. To me, was like just off the charts. He's a classically trained piano player, and he's well versed in obviously a lot of keys and answers. you. Don't know if you already answered, but how did your flow style? I'll answer that in a second, Gorilla. Thank you for that question. Um, so because I saw his ability, I've always had it in my mind that I always wanted to work with him. And he actually wrote one of the earlier Stillwell demos that we never used. But ever since that moment, I was like, man, I want to work with this dude on some qunique stuff. So I always held that in my back pocket. And then finally, all of these years later, when I was working with Viper, I had reached out to Zach and presented the idea, and we just went, who? Oh, the dime figure. Yeah, thank you, Raw. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Thank you. And that's the white stripes up there is Dio, Agnostic Front, and Joe Strummer from The Clash. Behind me back there, KRS-One, Eric B. and Rakim, Biz Markie. I got more of them, but I can't, you know, this is the corner of the office, so I don't want to put up all my music figures. There's a lot of them. I went crazy when Super 7 put the shit out. But anyway, I actually bought the new Tribe Called Quest set. That's going on the wall. Anyway, so going on this journey with Zach was dope. There were moments that I had to be patient because Zach is a dude that Oh, okay, Machiavelli. Peace, man. Have a good weekend, man. Thank you for stopping by for sure. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. And I appreciate you guys giving props. I'm gonna talk about all of my releases because the same producer that that's what's up, bananas. So Zach agreed, and we did our first track together, which was "It's Not Over." That was the first video and single that we released for this year. And I got to work with one of my good friends, Rob Cisneros. He was the director of the first two videos, so that was yeah, Eric, yo, Super Seven. They've been killing the game with all of the music action figures, man. It's an exciting thing, man. For reals, I'm not gonna lie, it's really dope. Um, so me and Zach, we did. It's Not Over. That was I love the way that got made. Zach did all the instrumentation. Peace. What's up? What's up? What's up? Found Founds. What's going on, man? Peace. Oh, Scott, what's up? Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Right there, that dude found sound. Yo, give props. That's the great Scott Stallone, producer, engineer extraordinaire, talented musician. I got to work with him this year, something that I've worked with him sparingly through my career, whether it was through other projects or maybe one or two songs. But this year I really got to work with Scott on the songs that I'm talking to you guys about. We started with It's Not Over. Scott has, for those that don't know, Scott works with Vinny Paz, Jedi Mind Tricks, Army of the Pharaohs, so on and so forth. And yes, he is a legend. And I got to work on this year was special to be able to work with him and Zach both together. It was just like mind blowing, even though it was just a four song run for this particular year. It just felt like each step was just done meticulously and just so well that it just got me very, very excited about every song, as if each song was its own planet. And Scott and Zach definitely just really like helped with the everything from the musicality, the instrumentation, to the sonics, to everything. And I also got to include Peter, the guy who mastered everything. Is just what and I could say all of this now because today we released the final single for the year with Put It in the Air. And so definitely working with Scott, definitely working with Zach and Peter, and with the last one also including my son. it's just been brilliant. Like I said, Rob Cisneros and the rest of the crew, that everybody just came together and really helped with getting these songs done. And some of these songs, like "It's Not Over," was a dope, like marrying this live instrumentation to boom bap, crusty breakbeat drums. And then we did "Let's Go Vamonos Andiamo," where I'm rapping trilingual. And then we went from there to a more of a ballady type of emotional hip hop track with "Remember Me," and talking about legacy and holding myself accountable in the eye of the public. And then Divine Sea Level, what's going on? Thank you, I appreciate that. Which is what I'm going to get into right now. Which is today we released "Put It in the Air," and this song is truly about wanting to motivate the listener and using manifestation as also a springboard. Put it in the air, let the miracle appear. It's like it's one of those things where manifestation is such a fascinating concept to me, because it's one of those things where I couldn't tell you, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how it works. It's a weird thing to me. It's like when I listen to those that teach about it, that thank you so very much, Gorilla. Gorilla, you are a gem of a motherfucking gem, bro. Thank you so very much. Your son did well in the production. Right. Very patient waiting for you. Oh, thank you, Jordan. I truly appreciate that. Thank you, Gorilla Strong. Um, what's up, Martin? Okay, so, oh, by the way, thank you, Gorilla Strong. The rest of you, the super chats and the super stickers, thank you for any of you. Thanking you in advance for your donations. Y'all know the deal. I appreciate it greatly, okay? Thank you very much. Um, what's interesting about how this track came about is that my son initially was the main producer for the track. He had put some samples together and he created the first version of this song, which isn't too far away from what it became, but he definitely has the original version. And we knew that working with Viper, that we weren't going to hand in anything with samples on it. So that's when we got it over to Zach, and Zach changed a lot of things because he came in with the strong piano. As soon as the track hits, you hear boom, bang, bang, like he's banging on that fucking piano. And it's, it gives you that vibe, because what I wanted to also convey with the music with this was that the music had to give you that fucking, that excellence, that feeling of excellence, that feeling of manifesting something dope and really like dear to our hearts. And so, and on top of that, wanting to maintain the positive vibe that I started with "It's Not Over," went into "Let's Go Vamonos Andiamo," "Remember Me," and then "Put It in the Air." All four of these songs have a very positive undertone, very positive, but they're well done. It's not like cheese. It's not like poorly produced or poorly mixed or just poorly executed lyrically. I don't think so. And so it just, the whole thing. What up, Nasty Ruckus? What's the deal? Thank you, Yeesh. Thank you so very much. Pontyland, what's going on? NZ Ninja, what's going on? New Zealand, that's right. Thank you, thank you. So I know like these past four singles is like, exactly, Gorilla. That's the point. And thank you for the assist on that. It's positive without being too preachy. And I wanted to ask y'all a question about the song, and I want to see who knows. How many of you, when you listen to today to the song "Put It in the Air," the third verse, does anyone know And don't say it, Scott. I know you know, Scott. Does anyone know who I was paying homage to on the third verse? When I start the third verse, from what Zach is playing on the piano, he's playing something that is a throwback. And it's paying, we're both Zach and I, um, it's both Zach and I, thank you, Bananas. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Both Zach and I were paying homage to an early hip hop record. So thank you, Bananas. I appreciate it. So does anybody know who we were paying homage to on that third verse when I go, some people, some, and he's playing that piano lick right before I come in. And I go, some people, some people, some people, some people. Don't say it, Scott. Does anybody know what rap group, what rap record I'm paying homage to? If you don't know, everybody should just comment, I don't know, please tell me, Q. And then I'll say the answer. I'm just giving everybody space to guess or to give me the right answer in that sense. It's not Big L. It's not Big L. It's way further back than that. It's not Cypress. Not Cypress. It's all right, let me give y'all a hint. I wasn't even, yes, thank you, Scott. It's earlier than everybody you guys, I was definitely too young. I wasn't even rapping yet when this record came out. I was baby. And so this song, no, it's not Kid and Play, it's before Kid and Play. This song came out at about 1983, 84. It's like early hip hop, early, like before all of us, when we would probably catch it later on some mix show or something. Or if you're a hip hop fucking fan like I am, Bananas, you're in the ballpark. You guys are in the ballpark now. Now you're getting close. Run DMC, Funky Four. It's in that ballpark. It's somewhere between those two bookends. It's not a super popular group either. It was more of the producer was very popular. Almost there. Treacherous 3, almost there. Like I said, they're not as famous. Okay, I'll do that, Scott. I think I'm gonna ruin it if I say who it is. Def Jam artist. Jordan, why do you keep on saying junk? It's not a Def Jam artist. So the person that produced it is actually somebody that worked with the Clash and the Sex Pistols. Let's see if that helps you. He was a producer that worked with the Sex Pistols and the Clash. He came to America, came to New York, and he did one of his hip hop singles. No, it's during that Roxanne Shante, but it's not that. One of his singles is an iconic OG hip hop single. Not Rick Rubin, not Curtis Blow. We're almost there though. When you guys are gonna give up, just be like, all right, Q, just tell us who it is. And I'll tell you who it is. This is fun. I love doing shit like this. Wait, did somebody answer? Bill Shapiro answered? I didn't see his answer. Where's Bill Shapiro? Woo! Bill Shapiro for the win. Yes. Bill Shapiro knows. So Bill Shapiro answered the first part of the question. The producer's name is Malcolm McLaren. Malcolm McLaren used to work with the Sex Pistols. I believe he worked with the Clash in some way, shape, or form. Malcolm McLaren, his iconic single was Buffalo Gals, where that video is, to me, I always tell people, if you're a hip hop head, no, the producer who produced Roxanne Shante is Marley Marl. Malcolm McLaren is a British producer that came over here. I already said it, Bananas, I'm sorry. So Malcolm McLaren came to America, started doing hip hop, Jay Bugsy, it's Malcolm McLaren. It's Malcolm McLaren. You know Malcolm McLaren, Jay Bugsy. You know. You know. You know Buffalo gals, man. So, um, Malcolm McLaren did Buffalo Gals. And I always tell people that video is extremely important if you're a hip hop head. And I'll tell you why. Because during that time, when people were filming hip hop, they were filming it in its natural habitat. What I mean is, nobody was trying to simulate it. They weren't like saying, we got to get some breakdancers to give it that old school vibe. They weren't doing that. Like they were doing in the 90s. They were doing a lot of throwback shit at times. A lot of the more pop artists were doing like throwback shit to like link them to that OG hip hop shit. So when Malcolm or Henry Chalfant or Charlie Ahern, when they were filming and taking photos of hip hop back then, it was in its most natural habitat. So that video, Buffalo Gals, that's like the real Rocksteady. That's like real Bill Blast, Graffiti Piece, real DJing. Like it's like those are the real people, like in the movie Wild Style, Star Wars. So I always tell people, make sure you watch that video because what you're looking at is a visual time capsule. It's a visual time capsule. It wasn't choreographed. Like in a sense of we're gonna shoot a video, we need to get things to make people. No, they brought the camera, called in Rocksteady. Rocksteady did some things that were said to do, but they were being themselves as well. So that's why. But Gorilla Strong, that's dope. So the song that I'm giving homage to is the world famous Supreme Team song. And so if you go and listen to that song, um, world famous Supreme Team, check it out, y'all. So if you listen to it, the piano lick, my homie Zach paid homage. He played a little bit of their piano lick. And then I start off by saying what the Supreme Team said on their record. Some people, some people, some people, some people, some people listen. So if you get a chance to go listen to it, me and Zach are paying homage to Malcolm McLaren and the Supreme Team. That was a tip of the cap to them. And because I felt like the whole song gave me that vibe of that song. So that's what I was trying to convey. Aside from, doing a song about manifestation and keeping it positive, on the hip hop side of things, what was important to me with this particular song was to tip my hat to the Supreme Team and Malcolm McLaren. Um, I try to pay homage even to the artists that might not have had a big spotlight, like a Run DMC or an LL Cool J. I try to find the in betweens, like them that had their moments, whether I was too young or not, or didn't understand at the time what I was listening to. It doesn't matter. As a grown man now, I could go back and like pick, who I want to salute, which I want to salute everybody, but that was the vibe that the song initially gave me. So thank you. That's the deal. Ever start to rap a song you wrote and forgot the lyrics because you have so many raps? Yes. And let me answer that with a funny story. You, this is a story about you just never know who's listening. I got booked to do a massive festival in oh, what's up, Tanya? I didn't know I was you. What's up? That's a dope question. And don't forget, Gorilla, I know I'm gonna answer your question as well. Um, thank you, NZ. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So I got booked to do a show in Bogota, Colombia, South America. And it was me and J. Rue the Damager. We were kind of like the co-headliners. And it was massive. We're talking, it was about 30,000 people. It was insane. It was a lot. It was a festival. And I went on before J. Rue and then it was done. And we were in the middle of the set And one of the songs that I love to perform is 14 Years of Rap. It's one of those songs that I think the people that listen to me want to hear. They want to hear my verse and they love that song. And it's a dope song and I love doing that song. So I went into it. And like you had asked, like maybe 4 bars in, I kind of fudged one of the lyrics. I just kind of like forgot where I was because sometimes when you're looking at an ocean of people, if you're not focused, you could get distracted. And I got slightly distracted, so like I messed up like a sentence, a line. I kind of went like blah, 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 and then went right back into. I caught myself, and my attitude was like, nobody caught that. Like nobody's really listening. So when I got home, I checked. I was like checking my DMs, which is I do that occasionally. I don't always do it, but I checked my DMs, and this fan from Bogota was like, "I loved your show, but why did you mess up your lyrics in 14 Years of Rap? I wish you would have said it right." And I was like, "What the fuck?" it just shows you, man. And there's been times when you're doing it for as long as I have, it's just like there's been times where even when I do it on Wednesdays sometimes, for some reason, being in the booth with a camera on you could it's not massively overwhelming, but it could be overwhelming. And sometimes, like, if you notice, a lot of the times I'm closing my eyes when I do it because when the camera is this close and it's staring at you, it's like for me it's a distraction. I'll get used to it eventually, but it's not a massive distraction because of course I'm getting through it, but it's a little bit of a distraction. So, you know, I've fudged a couple of lines on y'all every now and then on certain Wednesdays, man. It's been pretty funny, man. And the beauty is that YouTube slaps me with a copyright, so I have to trim it off anyway. So no, you can't really review all of the songs I've done because a lot of them YouTube had me trim off. So it is what it is. We're having fun, and that's all that fucking matters, man. So Gorilla, you asked me about my cadence, flow, vocal tone. It Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Eric, you funny. Nasty Ruckus, I'm gonna answer your question. Thank you, Jordan. Tanya, I'm gonna be sticking with YouTube, and it looks like we're gonna go into Twitch and maybe TikTok later on, but it'll probably be Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. I won't be doing much of live of Instagram. I think Instagram will be more like a pop-up live occasionally here and there. But YouTube, you guys have made the YouTube experience. NZ Ninja, I'll answer that in a question. You guys have made this YouTube experience so fucking amazing that I feel at home here now. This is where I feel at home. I love talking to you guys. You guys are amazing. Your comments, your questions, your sorry, Tanya. Your love, your support, everything is just it's special to me, and I'm gonna be more focused here on YouTube, and that way I'm not trying to juggle and read 2 screens and all that. It gets to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. So I YouTube, we developed a nice relationship here with y'all. Everybody shows up, I show up, y'all show up, and it's been amazing. So this is gonna be the headquarters, and I appreciate it. Thank you. So Gorilla, my vocal cadence, tone, flow, that's years and years of just trying on different outfits, as you will. It started with mimicry. The guys that I would mimic would definitely be KRS, Rakim, and Kane. They would be the first three that I would really pay attention to the most. Um, and then as time went on, Native Tongues, Wu Tang, Nas, and then you start to shed all of that. You stop mimicking after a while, and then you find yourself on your own road where you're just fine tuning what people are reacting to. So a lot of the times in the beginning, I'm looking to see how people are reacting or what kind of feedback I get, depending on who it is that's talking to me. And I've gotten feedback from so many different people that I trust. And sometimes it might be a stranger that the feedback might feel necessary or authentic or it comes from the heart. So I know that they care. And so honest feedback is always welcomed, as long as it's not hurtful or disrespectful. I'm all ears, you know what I mean? And so it's that. It's a trial and error. It's experimenting, and then it's a confidence thing as well. It's like where I'm at now, you get into a groove after doing it for as long as I've done it. You get into a groove where I think now I'm more on an evolution tip where overall musically, as you could see, especially working with Zach and Scott and this year, I'm on more of a journey of evolution and trying to figure out overall where the whole picture is going to go. You know what I mean? Like where's the music going to go? Where's the production going to go? And yes, Yeesh, I will answer that. And so that's where I'm at. But that's how I developed my style. And another thing that's been special for me is like dabbling in another genre. Thank you, Gorilla. Dabbling in another genre for me being rock has changed my perspective on what I do, whether it's hip hop or rock. And I'll answer that in a second, Tanya. And so returning back, or when you listen to my music now, you could tell how lyrics are happening or how certain hooks and choruses get done by by the fact that I become a dual genre artist. And so that definitely helped with the evolution. So in that case, I have to give props to to Crazy Legs, Fieldy from Korn, Mike DeJean. There's so many people to thank when it comes to that. So thank you, Divine. I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. There was another question. So Yeesh, any advice? Wait, did I miss anybody else's question? Just making sure. Still well. NZ Ninja, I'll answer that in a second. Any advice for people getting into the booth, or just let's say just writing and all of that? Um, be free. And what I mean by that is, yeah, Philly's son is killing it right now. That's my nephew's son. Um, be free. And what I mean is, try not to look at what's going on. Try not to stay current by matching what's current. Sometimes what you're looking at is more of a paid advertisement than a natural thing happening. So I say, try to be no, don't try. Fuck try. Be organic. Be organic. Be honest, and have fun. Be organic. Be honest, and have fun. Everything else will just pop into place. I think what music will need moving forward is organic, honesty, and fun. That's the human touch. A computer can't duplicate that. Computer probably could duplicate. AI could probably duplicate a catchy tune or whatever, but it's not organic. It's programmed. It's but I'm not gonna have a whole bashing AI thing. I do my own shit, so I don't really give a shit about it. I write my own rhymes. I work with producers. I work with engineers. I put um, yeah, exactly. So I don't really care. I'm not threatened by it because I do what I do. Um, just you hear me. I think you got it. All right. Yeah, Jeff, catch up, son. Now let me stop. I'm only playing with you, but I did give it an opinion earlier. I'll reiterate. I personally don't have a strong opinion on it yet. I only listened to it once, but I was more just giving flowers to what Nas has done the whole year with Mass Appeal, and so it kind of like puts things in a bigger picture perspective for me because Nas has become a real hip hop ambassador. When we look at what happened with Mass Appeal, um, this year with De La Soul, Mob Deep, Raekwon, Ghostface, Slick Rick, Big L, Nas, and Primo. It's just like overall the big picture. I just love Nas for what he's done, and I truly appreciate him. And so that's where I'm at right now. I would have to listen to it a few more times. So that's the deal. Um, what else? What else? There was another question. Oh, Stillwell. Okay, I get asked this question often. Um, And unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that. I don't. Um, I've been working with my band Mother Fuzz for the most part, and where Stillwell is at right now, it's just one of those things that you know bands or projects go through this, where there's just a moment of quiet because we were doing so much for the past. Through COVID, we put out 2 albums, 20 music videos, remixes. We just went ape shit. And so right now it's just a little bit of a quiet time, which gave me a chance to go and jam with Eric Lanhard and Scott Kraling and Ray Luzier and Scott Bush. And we put together some really cool fucking songs. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just check out Mother Fuzz, MOTHERFUZZ. And that's where I'm at right now when it comes to rock. I've been having a lot of fun with Mother Fuzz, and we've been writing a lot of songs. Thank you, Divine. I really appreciate that. And so, if you get a chance, please check out Mother Fuzz. That's where I'm at currently right now, and that's my rock news for now. Of course, Ninja. Thank you. And you can see there's when you scroll on the qunique YouTube page, if you scroll all the way down on the homepage, there's an icon for Mother Fuzz. It just started, so there's not a lot of traction on it yet, but I'm digging what we got so far. Grew up in the great era. Exactly, Jay Bugsy. Exactly. Thank you, Ninja. I appreciate that. Lyrical commission, man. I actually. Oh wait, I think the branch do things differently. Just dabbles in. Exactly. You get it, Tanya. I think that when you're working with artists like that, you just give them their space because Love and Fieldy have they've had some incredible moments in the spotlight, and as their friend, I give them their space, whether it's space so they could deal with personal things or whatever they're dealing with or whatever they want to handle or whatever projects, whether it's music or something else. We always give each other our space. And so, I mean, I was just with him Fieldy last week, but it's one of those things where we ain't stressing over it. We did a lot of work, and they're happy that I'm doing Mother Fuzz, and they love it. And so, what's funny is that The first song that I released on Mother Fuzz is not with Eric or Scott. It's just me. I played guitar on that song. I wrote that song on guitar. I did all the vocals, and Fieldy played bass and Wub played drums because that first song, Best Friends, was supposed to be a Stillwell song. And so when I knew that Stillwell was gonna, take a little chill break, I turned to the guys. I was like, "Yo, do you mind if I use this for the first Mother Fuzz single? I like this song." And they were like, "Nah, go right ahead." And so that first song was supposed to be a Stillwell song, but it became a Mother Fuzz song. But the Mother Fuzz songs that I did with Scott and Eric are very different from the Best Friend song. And so when you get a chance, if you haven't heard Mother Fuzz, give it a little listen. I appreciate it. Thank you. Divine. My son is actually working on his solo album, which is more like indie rock. But he was jamming with with Israel. His name is Israel. Fieldy's son's name is Israel. He was jamming with them about a month ago. He went down there and they were all jamming. They've known each other for decades. So I got when it comes to that, I like them to behave naturally. Like if they're gonna jam, jam. If not, then don't jam. Just always be be friends with each other. You know what I mean? But they have jammed in the past. My son is just more focused on. He just finished his solo album and he'll be releasing it next year. And he's about to shoot this brilliant short film for the album and all of that. So we're all giving him his space to get it done. We're all excited, and that's where we're at right now. um, Thank you, Divine. Thank you very much. So the next Mother Fuzz single comes out in January, and I'm excited because next year there's going to be a Mother Fuzz song every month. So there'll be 12 brand new Mother Fuzz songs. I know that there's definitely 5 that are slated already, but the aim is 12 so a song a month for the whole year. So exactly. So that's the deal with that. What else is going on? So next Wednesday, when I do the show next Wednesday, that's when I'll have the posters up. There'll be a new qunique T-shirt that'll probably be limited. I'm gonna probably do some limited run shirts. So I'll show a design. It'll be like maybe 10 or 20 shirts of that design, and then we'll move to the next design, so on and so forth. So get ready for that. Also, I had mentioned earlier that I'm going to have Vengeance is Mine posters and Between Heaven and Hell posters for sale that I'll be signing. They'll be mailed in poster tubes so they won't be creased or folded or bent and all of that good stuff. For those that I care about these kind of details. So some people just don't, but that's the deal with that. Yes, stickers for sure. Um, I'm gonna have some qunique pins next year as well, man. I did arsonist pins this year, but next year be a lot more qunique artwork and things of that nature. So get ready for all of that for next year, starting with next Wednesday. Um, and MC Ram. Yo, Scott, send me your address. Text me your address. I'll send you all types of stickers. Actually, I'm out of stickers. The stickers are actually done, so you're gonna have to give me time to re-up on some stickers, man. A license plate frame. That's a good fucking idea. Actually, the other one that's gonna happen, there's gonna be qunique coffee mugs with black coffee. Stay tuned for that as well. I've been wanting that. qunique coffee mugs. I love that. And don't forget to go to qunique.com. There's a lot of merch on there, man. Check out the shop on qunique.com, man. A lot of merch. A lot of merch. Do you still have Yo, Tanya, what happened? Lemoore's, yes. The tote bag is dope. I got you, Scott. I got you. I might have to print up. I might have to print up a poster for you, Scott, just because. Um, oh, another poster that I'm gonna have printed up because the artwork. Um, Another poster that I'm gonna have printed up because of the artwork is the mechanic. That artwork, that's a French comic book artist, Nawabi Benoit, and he actually did the cover for Black Coffee, and then he did the cover for the Mechanic, and I love his artwork. And so the Mechanic, I just thought that he fucking murdered that cover. And so I want to print it up on some, some posters that'll be available for sale for next year as well. So stay tuned. A lot of new fresh things coming out. Now, rolling trays. That's a fucking brilliant idea, son. Rolling trays, I dig. Rolling trays, I dig. qunique grinders, I dig. qunique grinders, I dig. Yes, 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 yes. Now, don't forget, all of this merch talk is cool, but don't forget the qunique Rhetmatic album is dropping next year. Very excited about that. I actually called Rhett today, getting him hyped because we're finished. There is one feature I'm looking at. It's when I told him who I was considering, he fucking tripped out. I'm not gonna say it yet because there's one person that I know that knows this particular rapper. He's been very quiet for a long time, and so I want to see if there's a way that this rapper will make an appearance. If not, I'll tell you who it was after I get the yes or the no. Charisma, that would be sick. Gorilla Strong, son. Jordan, yes, that's a good one. I like that. That Stillwell arsonist thing is a great one. Yes, Nasty Ruckus, exactly. Yo, Rhett, bless me, man. I am very happy with this album. Very happy. Like I can't wait till next year. And I already started talking to another key producer because I want to be able to, just to keep the train moving. So there's somebody else that I'm talking to that you guys I've spoken about him in prior live feeds, but I don't want to say who it is yet until songs are getting done. Once I got one or two songs under the belt, then I'll be like, yo, I just started working with so and so. Can't wait to, can't wait for you guys to hear it. So there is someone else after Rhett that I already started getting the ball rolling. So it's not another beat junkie. I know Eric Bobo's album for sure, man. For sure. It's not another beat junkie. It's somebody from the East Coast. And it's somebody that you've heard of, but you probably haven't heard his name in a while too. So that's what I've been doing, like trying to like look for those artists that kind of like get forgotten or just been quiet or anything of that nature. Or if they're a friend of mine and I just wanted to give them flowers by doing an album with them. That in the case of the producer that I'm talking about, this is somebody that's been a mentor to me. Has worked with some of the greatest hip hop groups of all time, and when I decided that I wanted to work with him, it was purely based on the fact that I have nothing but love and admiration for this person, and this was my way of showing my respect by finally getting an album done with him. He's been an important mentor in my life very early in my career. So that's the deal with that. So stay tuned. I'll have more announcements about that as we get closer. But right now, it's all about the qunique Rhetmatic album and Boy, are we fucking hype about that, man. Yes, Jordan, that is dope. It's not DJ Eclipse, Chucky Madness. No. Any more work with Stu Bangers? I don't know. I don't know. It's funny. I've met Stu, and and I've always been like cool, but I don't know Stu like that. But I have rapped on the Faces of Death. I'm on the intro track of Faces of Death, and he produced Ignorant Genius, which is on the Mechanic album. So I've worked with him, but we've never had a talk about a full album, never. And I recently just did a couple of verses for C. Lance, and so I'm just waiting to see what C. Lance is going to do with his album and when he's going to release it and all of that. So we'll see when it happens. You know what I mean? Um, Ladies and gentlemen, also don't forget the super chats and the super stickers. Your donations are greatly appreciated. Thank you in advance. Yeah, the C Lance joins. I can't obviously. I did it for his album, so I can't say who I got to collaborate with on the track, but I am excited, and I'm hoping that C Lance at least is dropping it next year. I don't know what his plan is yet. I probably should reach out to him at some point and see what's going on. But the verses for C Lance's album has been handed in. My homework is done. um, what else? Oh, has anybody been watching the Beatles anthology docu series? Um, I think it's beautifully done. I think if you don't know, uh, I'm a Beatles fan. Like, like seriously, seriously. I'm smoking on Candescent tonight. You know the company Candescent? It's an orange, comes in an orange box. They have a strand called Create. And so that's what I'll be on. Oh, okay. um, Scott, it's on the Disney Hulu, and it's like it's a docu series, and it's beautifully done. The detail is beautiful, and what I love about it. Here's the one thing that if you're really a fan or if you're really paying attention to what you're looking at is how sometimes the director shows how each member might have a conflicting point of view. So one guy will think that the answer is green. Like George Harrison will say, "Oh, that was blue," and then Paul McCartney will say, "No, it was definitely green." And it's like there are moments like that, and it just goes to show you that memory is a fascinating thing, and perspective is a fascinating thing. No matter how tight a group is, no matter what it is that they're experiencing together, sometimes the perspectives are so different and so separate from each other that it becomes almost amusing. Like as you're watching, you're like, wow, it just shows you, man, it doesn't matter. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. So if you all get a chance, it's really well done, and there's moments. My emotions. I'm a high level emotional guy. Like my emotions can be very explosive, and so I find myself at times watching a lot of these docuseries or documentaries, music documentaries. A lot of the times I get emotional, choked up, and I found myself feeling that way because two members are gone, and you watch their experiences, you watch some of the things that they've gone through, and I'm always happy. I'm a little different from what the majority of the world is. I'm always happy when people achieve things. It's like fun to watch for me, and so watching them achieve the levels and the accolades that they achieved was just such a beautiful thing to me. And so I found myself getting emotional. And the other thing is, you don't realize how many things the Beatles started until you watch this documentary, and it's fucking mind blowing. So I would recommend the Beatles docu series on Hulu, Disney Hulu, as well as I said this last time, I will strongly recommend the Led Zeppelin documentary on Netflix, Becoming Led Zeppelin. It's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful film. Man, I had a point that I wanted to make about the Beatles and just everything that I was looking at, but I lost it. I lost the point, son. Divine, you get choked up at the rock? I do too, man. Jeff Oswald, what's the deal? What's going on the 21st, man? Where at? I didn't hear the new Eric Sermon joint. Thank you. I got to get into that. Yo, Scott, for real. And the fact that the Beatles are one of the prime examples of mother necessity. Invention is like the an act of mother necessity, right? I forgot how the saying goes. Yvette, what's going on? Um, oh, oh, okay. Jeff, yo, what's up, Jeffy? What the? I didn't even realize it was you. I had to read your last name. That's what's up. What's up, Jeff? Um, I haven't heard any of the Eric Sermon stuff yet. I have to get into that. I definitely did a deep dive in this Beatles thing. But yes, Scott, like everything that the Beatles did was so fucking ahead of everybody else that you're watching the documentary and they're saying things and you're like, they did what first? And it's almost like your head wants to explode because you already know, um, you already know that what they've achieved is already insane. But then when you get into the story of some of the things that they started or invented because, and how it advanced the entire music community is just it for four guys from a part of England that nobody even paid attention to change the world is it's fucking nuts, man. It's nuts. And they even say it themselves quite a few times of how crazy it got, you know? So it's like, it's just fascinating. That part of their story is fascinating, man. So that's the deal with that. There are certain people that I think need a more proper documentary. And the first people that come to mind for me, no disrespect to the dude of who did it first, Michael Rappaport, but I think that A Tribe Called Quest needs a new documentary, a fresh take, and I think it needs the Led Zeppelin, becoming Led Zeppelin direction. And what I mean by that is, I personally don't want to see the legacy of A Tribe Called Quest be summed by the beef between Q-Tip and Fife. It just didn't leave me. I didn't. There's no. I don't want to return to that. It has nothing to do with Michael Rappaport. I just think that he probably saw that perspective at the time. But now that there is no Fife, I think a fresh take would be really just talking about what went into the music, like the way Led Zeppelin is, and just the beautiful parts. I think that drama. You know, I always talk about this. I think that drama has has run its course in social media, in the community, especially hip hop, and it's boring and it's fucking annoying. And so I think I would do a whole new Tribe Called Quest documentary based on the beauty, because people don't even realize what a Tribe Called Quest means to hip hop and what they changed. They changed a lot. Trust me when I say this, man. Their impact on this shit is insane. It's a very important group. Trust me on this. They need a proper documentary that explores the beauty of a Tribe Called Quest, not the beef. Who gives a fuck about the beef? Every group, every band, everybody beefs. That's not new. Show me the beauty. That's what I want to see. That's my take on that. Um, yo, PMA for sure, man. PMA for sure. Thank you for answering him, Scott. I appreciate that. Um, the other documentary I think I would do over, and it's again no disrespect, no disrespect. The Run DMC one, I felt like it. That was one of those that I was like, this was cool. It just felt like it didn't feel finished. But I don't want to diss it, because I did learn stuff about Run DMC watching it. But you if you watch the Beastie Boys documentary, and then you watch Billy Joel's, and then you watch the Beatles, and then you watch the Led Zeppelin one, and then the Bee Gees one, it's like, fuck, man. They give you such a blueprint on how to make a really solid documentary. It's like, that's necessity. Yes, thank you is the mother of invention. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Eric. But yeah, that's my take on all the I mean, it's just my opinion. I'm not, I don't mean no disrespect to any director or anything. I don't know what the situation was behind the scenes and all of that. It just um, you know, that's the deal. I haven't heard that one yet, Jordan, either. Conway the Machine's stuff. I haven't heard yet either. There's so much new stuff that it definitely takes me a lot more time to get to these albums, and on top of the fact that I'm writing my own shit. So it's like it definitely is a lot, you know. So Gorilla, it's funny. You're talking to Scott, and Scott, aside from what I feel about Scott, because he's a beautiful dude, is his ear. He made me sound incredible this year. It's not over. Let's go, Vamanos Andiamo. Remember me. Put it in the air. Scott co-produced and mixed everything, and he made me sound fucking incredible this year. And I'm so thankful, man, because it's, when you know the people in your playing field, and there's certain people that stand out because of their skill and their ability, and not only that, because of their demeanor, you want to work with them. And I finally got my chance to be able to work with Scott Stallone. And there's a few people that I trust. He's one of them. When it comes to taking my product and having um to to taking my product and then enhancing it. The two engineers that I look at the most is Chris Collier, who I've worked with Stillwell. Um, he produced and mixed Stillwell's second, third, and fourth album, and he produced and mixed King's Bounty's songs and Rodimus. And so when it comes to that world, he's definitely one of my favorite dudes to work with. Although I haven't worked, and I know Scott, and I know Scott got the ear for rock. I already know. I already know. Scott's one of those dudes that even if he's giving me, like for instance, when King's Bounty, when I went to perform in Philly, and Scott was giving me like, constructive criticism, I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna listen to him because he knows, you know, and his honesty, whether it hurts or not, doesn't fucking matter. That's a person that he cares, and I'm gonna listen. And so when you have people like that, you want to work with them pretty much forever. And so Scott is somebody that, along with Chris Collier, um, I I trust. Like if I hand them a session, it's very rare that I'm going to be like, "Yo, Scott, we got to go over. I got notes." Very rare, and it's very rare with Chris Collier as well. So those two human beings are my top two favorite engineers and co-producers and producers to work with, as far as overall, that I've had the experience of working with and that I trust. So, that's the deal. And just giving you your flowers, man. Yeah, Chris Collier is a beast. He's a beast. And what's funny about Chris Collier is he's become more and more streamlined, where he's actually looking at it where he feels like bands have the power now to produce themselves, and he could come in and enhance what you've done. And so that's how, you know, amazing Chris has gotten over the years. I love both of y'all. You, Scott Stallone, Chris Collier, just favorite and just gifted. Your ears are just gifted, both of you. You just take care of your ears, man, please. Thank you, Jordan. And like I said, that was mixed and co-produced by Scott Stallone. And so, you know, I was speaking about those songs earlier. These four songs have been a treasure for me because I got to work with Scott and I got to work with Zach, and I'm very happy with the way these songs turned out, man. Yeah, Gorilla, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like I had to wait till I was in a good place. That was another thing. I had to wait till I was in a good place in order to like finally reach out to Scott and be like, "All right, man, let's fucking rock," Because prior to that, I was, and Scott knows because I told him the whole story of how I was, going over my catalog and cleaning things up and putting myself in a different place and changing lyrics and putting myself in a more dignified place as an artist. And so it wasn't time for me to reach out to anybody yet. I had to get right with myself first. And once I got everything right, then I sent out the fucking Scott Stallone signal and they're like, "Yo, let's fucking rock, man." And it was like, how beautiful is this? Scott's gonna make me sound like a fucking $1,000,000, man. So that's the experience of working with somebody that is just fucking dope. It's just an amazing, and especially when, because sometimes you could have it in your mind, I want to work with this guy, and then you walk away and you're like, fuck, I thought it was gonna be something else, but it's not. But with Scott, it was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It was fucking high fucking quality work, high quality, no complaints. Oh, that's what's up, Gorilla. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, man. It's and like I said, I didn't put out an album this year, and you know, but I had a lot of fun doing these singles, videos. Put it in the air. I think with this, I'm gonna do more reels and shorts. It's just looking at the climate of things. Now, JD McFadden, I'm gonna answer that. That's the thing is like, so even though I didn't put out an album, I put out four qunique singles, one Soul Gun single, and then what about five or six Mother Fuzz songs. So technically it's an album and it's a mashup because uh, it's alternative rock and then it's hip hop, and so it's an album's worth of material. It's just that it was more spread out and more individual and single based. So that's the deal. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, so Necro produced Between Heaven and Hell Prologue, um, the most emotional song on the album, actually. Uh, After that, no, yeah, that's the song he produced. Gorilla, yes, it does. To dance in two genres definitely splits the brain, but I've already grown accustomed to it. I've been doing it for a little while now, so it's one of those things where I um I have a discipline for it, and I have marked days for it. So Monday this, Tuesday that, Wednesday this, Thursday. So it's I have to organize it, or else my brain will just be have like an oversensory 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 oversensory. You know what I mean? I'll get overwhelmed. Oh man. Oh yes, of course, man. Oh, what's up, Harbor? Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. 14 years of rap, man. It's that's one of those songs. Like I always tell people, look, whenever I say this, my ego isn't where I'm saying that it's equal to something, but 14 years of rap to me is the scenario, like when Tribe Called Quest did scenario with leaders of the new school. 14 years of rap is that with nonfiction and the arsonist. That's how I look at that song. That's our scenario. I always said that because it's one of those songs that people just love. The video's dope. The song 10K, may rest in peace, produced a hell of a track, and everybody on that track came with fucking A game. Nobody was fucking around. Everybody came to fucking murder that shit. And so it was a fun track to do, and I'm glad. I'm so thankful that I'm a part of that song, man. You have no idea. Blaze is another one. I produced that track. It's funny because I wasn't sure about that track, and freestyle. He was the one that whenever I produced something, he always would be the more encouraging, like, yeah, let's rock, and he'd write his verse right away. We had that chemistry at that time, and he was the one that like encouraged me to finish Blaze, and I finished the track, and then everybody came through and fucking when that's our protect your neck type of deal, right? The arsonist protect your neck song is Blaze. But but it was. I love that song. I really do. I think I love it more because of the experience of doing with everybody. So thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate that for reals. I do. Um, and let me see what else. What else? I think I got all the announcements out once again. Uh, Starting in January, brand new Mother Fuzz song. I think it's coming out. Shit, January 9th? I'll have to get you the date on that. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Um, so, new Mother Fuzz song in January. I'll have the dates up as we get closer to it. It's the second week of January. And then uh, you'll start to see announcements and things for the qunique Rhetmatic song. But there might be a qunique song that'll come out a little before the qunique Rhetmatic album that Rhett didn't produce, just to keep the ball rolling. So Scott, I'll probably be reaching out to you soon, um, because I'm not sure exactly when we're going to start, but we will be starting early in the year. It's just based on Rhett Maddox guy who's mixing the album and all of that stuff. But I should probably have. I think I might have one or two Q Unique songs without Rhett prior to that album coming out. But we'll see. Let's see. Once me and Rhett kind of sort out the schedule for next year, then I'll have more of a clearer answer for you. But the qunique Rhythmatic album is already being worked on mix wise. Yes, I'd still smoke weed. Yes, 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 yes. That's why I'm so kind of chill, sort of. Still smoke weed. But I'm a midnight toker. I'm a nighttime guy, man. Well, Christmas playlist. Harbor, yes. I'm believe me, I'm excited, homie. I'm excited. You know what? I think my son who actually graduated from the Beat Junkies Academy, he got taught by Mr. Chalk and Rhythmatic. He's working on a Christmas mix, like different hip hop Christmas songs and Christmas songs in general. So let me see what he does first before I put together a Christmas playlist. I'm high as a giraffe's ass. That's funny. So the Rhythmatic qunique album, new Mother Fuzz album with Mother Fuzz songs coming out every month, and hopefully some live shows next year. I know that I'll be doing some live performances on Twitch next year once everything is plugged in and hooked up. So stay tuned for that. And but hopefully I'll get out and do some live shows, man. I was supposed to do another Kushstock event, but I don't know what happened. I performed at Kushstock like 3 times already, and it's been fucking amazing. I love performing there. It's a lot of fun. But in the meantime, I'm also going to be working on Toronto. Definitely want to get out to Toronto. Want to get back to New York. I'm working on a show out here in LA for next year. I'll have. I was at that release show, Harbor. I was there. I was there. I was on stage with Rhett when he was doing his set, and then I jumped off and watched the boys get biz. So that the show was dope. They were celebrating. The venue was really cool. I never been to that venue before, so but I had a blast at that. Dope show. Um, and I think I covered everything. Don't forget qunique.com. Yeah, Scott, please let me know. Let me know. We definitely gotta hook up and fucking hang and fucking grab a bite and all of that stuff. Um, I know, Crazy Legs, he didn't make it tonight. He's resting from all the windmills and head spins in the past 1,000 years of his life. um, oh, actually, Gorilla, that is a yo Scott. If you're here for the whole week, I might have you on live from the lab with Q on Wednesday. So let's see how it all plays out. I don't know how long you're in town. My shows are on Wednesday, so let's see if we could link up and do something like that. That'd be great. That'd be really great because I'll be able to uh, you know talk about your history and your legacy and with all the party people. So it'll be dope. So let's see how your schedule is. I don't want to like get ahead of myself because I know sometimes people come out here and they're running in 18 different directions. So let's see how it all plays out. But that's it, party people. I think that unless you guys got more questions, I'm here. We're hanging. We're chilling. But I think I've given you all the announcements. I've given you a little bit of a wrap up of all the singles and where we went with everything. You guys know what's going to happen for next year. Yes, hit the link on the way out. No, I don't. I wish I could get a new hat every episode. That's another thing, Yeesh. Thank you for bringing that up. I want to get some qunique snapbacks as well, so stay tuned for that as well. Definitely looking into, looking into that as well because I want to wear my own hats. Like Nems, man. I want to be like Nems. 4-packs. I love that idea. I love that idea. Right, wear out my hair. I know. Sometimes I do. I just get self conscious with the hip hop crowd and the long hair. But that's just me being silly though. My hair is fucking mad long right now. But yeah, I might do a little long hair joint. Squad caps. That'd be dope. I love that idea. That's a good idea. Yo, Gorilla Man. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Yo, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And anyone else that wants to donate to the super chats, the super stickers, you know it's greatly appreciated. You know what it is. I'm an indie artist doing what I do, baby. So starter jackets would be fucking nuts. That's fucking brilliant idea. Yo, y'all are giving me the best fucking merch ideas ever. But everything would be limited though. Everything would be limited. That's the way to roll these days, son. Limited editions shit. Get that limited edition qunique joint right there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for hanging out tonight. We'll get together again next Wednesday. I'll have a full-on book report with a new subject to talk about. I want you guys to have a beautiful weekend. Please do not forget. That's funny. Trapper Keeper would be fucking hilarious. Please do not forget the new song is out. Put it in the air. Thank you in advance for spreading the word. Thank you for streaming it. Thank you for posting it in your stories and all of that good stuff. Thank you for the dope comments, for your honesty, for just all the love and just support that you guys have been giving me for the new single today. It's streaming everywhere. For those that don't know, qunique, put it in the air. It's out now. My homie Scott Stallone, who's in the chat, he co-produced it with my homie Zach Baird, my son DJ Stutters. Everybody involved just fucking killed it, and so it is out and streaming. And thank you all for your support. Have a beautiful weekend. Spread love. And I will see everyone next Wednesday live from the lab. Y'all know what it is. 6 p.m. on the west, 9 p.m. on the east. Much love to y'all. Salute. Spread love. Be safe. Be peace. Take it easy.